So what's most challenging about being a live casino dealer online is probably you have those days when people are either very rude to you, doesn't matter what you do or what you don't do, people are gonna be rude anyways. And I kind of understand that sometimes because this is not always just fun for some people. People are losing a lot of money. People are suffering from gambling addiction, and you have to understand that you're the first target, you're the first interaction with them. So that can be very hard sometimes, especially if you see in the chat box that someone's saying, hey, listen, I lost all my money from my previous salary, or I can barely, pay my rent this month, or all this problematic situation that can be created with gambling issues. What I usually did back then, instead of just walking away from it, I usually walked into the control room, which is called more or less, and I would red flag these people. And this is what you can do. You have these bars and sections when you work as live croupier that you can choose from. So I always tried to make sure the casinos were aware of these players, because it's not fun when it really goes out over your life. So I didn't want to be part of that. I really wanted to be helpful in the best possible way. So I think that was the most hard part. Other than that, the light. God, don't speak about the light. It's horrible. If any one of you have been working in a studio before with the constant cameras and lighting and flashes and stuff like that, it's quite hard on you for all those hours. And I usually did like a 12-hour shift. So it was quite some time spent in that studio, or that little shoebox, which I used to call it back then. So that was also pretty difficult. Yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, I really liked my job as a live dealer. I had a great time, sincerely. Do we get paid if more people win or lose? No, that's not how it works. When you work as a live dealer, you absolutely don't have a commission plan like that. You go to your job, you're there to be entertaining. Your performance, you have like different bonus stages, and you have to follow some guidelines. You have to be presentable, of course, visibly. For ladies, you need to have pretty much makeup on, you need to look kind of flawless, or how flawless, I don't know. I try to do my best anyways. Sometimes it could be like, oh, you have the wrong color of your lipstick and stuff like that, which was kind of weird, especially when you're a person like me that is not really into makeup and, fixed hair and stuff like that. More than that, you have to really be careful with your spin technique if you work on the roulette, which I did. Spin techniques or techniques at blackjack. It's quite hard to learn. And you really have to be good at it and take your time so you don't make mistakes. Because what happens when we do mistakes is that the whole game slows down. People like you and me, when we're playing online, we want it to go fast. We want it to be as much problematic as not. So maybe you wonder, why aren't we allowed to speak about certain topics? And some things can be pretty upsetting, like politics, economics and stuff like that, and religion. So we try not to speak about that. It's about finding that consistent flow of what actually really attracts the players and what you really find is interesting for that day. So I usually had like a task every day when I went to work to be more of like a fun and entertaining person on set. And it was to find a topic that was kind of relevant, but yet non-political. So it could be anything from, the latest football game, or, World Cup is coming, or anything really. Music, stuff like that. And it's also very important when you work with so many different kinds of people that are playing, some lose, some wins, that you find something that is neutral and entertaining. So first off, what does it really look like in a live casino studio? So there's a lot of different rooms. First of all, it's just basically like different boxes. And you have the roulette wheels, you have the blackjack tables, you have like a 360 view set of cameras that constantly are filming you while you're working. And when I came to Malta in 2014, 2015, I think, this was my first job. And I have to say I was terrified. Not because of that I had to learn something new and that I was introduced to iGaming or, you know, different various of casino games, but more that I had no idea how to cope with being in front of cameras for that long. And it is quite challenging because the light is very strong and you always have to think about, you know, where to look, where to stand, what to say. I absolutely had some favorites as well, because people ask me this all the time, like, did you have a stalker? Did you become friends with anyone? And yeah, I did become like virtual friends with some of them. Because, I mean, you spend like almost 12 hours a day at work in front of cameras, just chatting, or I didn't chat. I look at screens and people chatting back with me. And after all those, you know, hours spent on cameras, you need to find topics that are fun to speak about. You need to be entertaining and you need to just have fun while you're at work, which is really important. And I really, really hope that everyone that ever do work as a live croupier really find it fun, because otherwise it's not going to work. And it's not going to be fun for you either, you know. Imagine logging in to your favorite casino and there sits someone who just looks bored as hell. I mean, you're not gonna have a good time. You're gonna, you know, log out, choose another table until you find that table where someone is fun, friendly, and just being herself or himself. So that was really key for me, to try to find a balance between being very social all the time and yet being me.